Welcome to Lesson 1. In this lesson, we'll explore the key milestones in language development from birth to 5 years. Understanding these milestones is crucial for identifying typical and atypical development patterns. Let's dive in. From birth to 3 months, babies should start making cooing sounds. Those are vowel sounds like oohs and ahs. This is closer to around the 2-month mark. Babies should react to loud sounds either by becoming very still or startling and moving their limbs. They should smile when spoken to, and they may calm down when they're crying just by hearing the sound of your voice because they're starting to recognize Mama and Dada's voice. Between 4 and 6 months old, babies will begin to babble with consonant sounds, so you should be hearing b, p, and sounds. They also should be making gurgling sounds. They should be vocalizing their excitement and their displeasure, so you should be hearing different cries for different emotions. And they may start to mimic the sounds that they hear in their immediate environment. From 7 to 12 months, they should begin to understand no, and they may respond to simple requests, and they should be using simple gestures like shaking their head for no. Their babbling will take on more inflection, and they'll start producing consonant vowel sounds in close succession. So you should begin to hear ba ba ba, ga ga ga, da da da, ma ma ma. And please note that the mamas and dadas at this time may not be to get mama and dada's attention. They're just playing around with their sounds. Closer to around the 12-month mark, your baby may have anywhere from 1 to 3 single words in their vocabulary. Between the ages of 12 and 18 months, toddlers should have several single words in their vocabulary. I said earlier that the typical 12-month-old may have 1 to 3 single words in their vocabulary. And toddlers, by the time they get to be about 18 months old, they could have anywhere from 20 to 50 single words in their vocabulary. However, because there's so much variability in language development, your toddler could have fewer or far more words. Your toddler should also be following single-step directions, understand simple questions, and point to pictures and objects when named. Between the ages of 18 and 24 months, your child should have a vocabulary of at least 50 words, and they may actually have over 200 words, again, because of that variability in language development. They should begin to combine 2 words together like more milk, mama help. They should be able to follow 2-step directions. This is closer to age 2. And they should be pointing to things or pictures when named. Between the ages of 2 and 3, your child should be using 2- and 3-word sentences to communicate socially, to make requests, and to initiate bids for social attention. They should be following 2- and 3-step instructions. They should be able to understand prepositions in, on, and under, and simple possessives your and mine. They should be able to name most familiar things, and they have a vocabulary of 200 to 300 words. Between the ages of 3 and 4, your child should be speaking in sentences of 5 to 6 words. They should be able to tell you simple stories, understand the concepts of same and different, and they should be able to state their first and last name when asked, and they understand the basics of grammar rules. Between the ages of 4 and 5, your child should be able to speak clearly enough for unfamiliar people to understand them most of the time. They should be speaking in full sentences, and they should understand and use future tenses, be able to tell longer, more complex stories, and they can say their name and their address when asked. Now that you have a grasp of typical language development, let's head on over to Lesson 2, where we'll uncover the differences between receptive and expressive language. See you there!